Welcome back. All right, so career video on Steve Kasper. Here we go. He was a number 81 pick back in 1980. He was a center. His first season, he actually beat out Barry Peterson for a job on the Boston Bruins. Very hard worker and a very good two-way forward, and that was the case throughout his career. So 80-81, he plays 76 games, 21 goals, 35 assists, 56 points. In the playoffs, he adds a single assist in 3 games played. He finished 7th in the Calder voting that year. He was 4th in Selke. So think about it. He's a rookie. He's 4th in Selke voting. He turned some heads. So 81-82, still with Boston, obviously. 73 games, 20 goals, 31 assists, 51 points. In the playoffs, he adds 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points in 11 games. And he won the Selke that year. Now, that's his only Selke win, but still winning a Selke trophy. Now, the following 2 seasons, they're injury-shortened campaigns. So 82-83 plays 24 games, records 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points. In the playoffs, he adds 2 goals and an assist for 3 points in 12 games. 83-84, he plays 27 games, has 3 goals, 11 assists for 14 points. So the numbers are fine for a defensive forward. No points in 3 games in the playoffs, as Boston's having their struggles in the playoffs. But 84-85, he bounces back with almost a full season, plays 77 games, 16 goals, 24 assists for 40 points. In the playoffs, he adds a single goal in 5 games played. So he's back, right? 85-86, plays all 80 games that season, 17 goals, 23 assists, 40 points. In the playoffs, he adds a single goal in 3 games played. So he's not top 10 in Selke voting at this point, but he's putting up decent totals, and the Bruins are pretty happy with him. 86-87, he plays 79 games that year, 26 goals, 44 assists, 70 points, which is easily a career high for him in points in the National Hockey League, and yes, a career high in goals and assists as well. In the playoffs, he adds 2 assists in 3 games. Like I said, Boston in the playoffs at that stage, not fantastic. He ends up 4th in Selke voting, so being out in the playoffs, all right, but you got some Selke votes, so that's not too bad. 87-88, he plays 78 games, still in Boston, 19 goals, 31 assists, 50 points. The Bruins in 88 go all the way to the Stanley Cup final, and Kasper plays a key role. In 23 games, he records an impressive 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points. And I say impressive because he's a defensive forward. It's the playoffs, and he's putting up goals and assists. He actually finished 2nd in Selke voting that year. And then 88-89, it happens. He ends up getting traded. He plays 49 games for the Bruins, 10 goals, 16 assists, 26 points. And January the 23rd, the Boston Bruins trade him. He goes to LA for Bobby Carpenter. So it's a deal where it's one of those player to be named later kind of deals, back when the NHL used to do that, and Kasper was the player to be named later. And then with LA, the offensive numbers are pretty good. He plays 29 games after the trade, 9 goals, 15 assists for 24 points. Not too shabby. In the playoffs, 11 games, 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points. So Kasper goes from playing with guys like Bourque and Neely to playing with Gretzky, Curry. Not bad. 89-90, plays 77 games with the Kings, 17 goals, 28 assists, 45 points. Very reliable scorer, about 45-50 points, sure. In the playoffs, he adds a goal and an assist for 2 points in 10 games. 90-91, plays 67 games with the Kings, 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points. So in the playoffs, he adds 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points in 10 games. But then he gets traded. May 30th, he's traded with a 1991 4th-round pick and Steve Duchesne in exchange for Chychrun and Curry. So I was wrong. Curry actually joins the Kings after in a trade for Kasper. Apologies for that. But he goes to Philadelphia. So in Philadelphia, things don't end up going that well for him. He ends up suffering a major knee injury in the 91-92 season. Plays 16 games in total that year, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. He's never quite the same after that. So 92-93, plays 21 games with the Flyers, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. And on December the 8th, he's traded. He is traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for Dan Vincelette. I don't think I'm going to be doing a career video on Dan Vincelette. I could try. But at any rate, he ends up in Tampa Bay, and he plays 47 games, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. So strictly 4th line at that point, and that would be the end of his career. 821 games played in total, 177 goals, 291 assists, 468 points. In the playoffs, plays 94 games, adds 20 goals, 28 assists for 48 points. So again, this is a career that was shortened a bit due to a knee injury. He missed some time here. Otherwise, yeah, he would have been around the 1,000-game mark, right? Good, solid two-way player, but ends up not being that popular in Boston as a coach. He only lasted 2 years in Boston as a coach. Famously, he benched Neely for a full 60 minutes. So Neely dresses for the game and gets stapled to the bench. As a Bruins fan and a huge fan of Neely, I have a Neely jersey. Not my favorite thing with Steve Kasper. And then he was replaced a year later by, like, after his second season was done, by Pat Burns. After he coached the Bruins to their first playoff miss in 28 years. They ended up with 61 points that year. It's not on Kasper. The Bruins had some issues at the time, but Pat Burns came in and helped turn things around because he's Pat Burns. The guy was a magician every time he entered a new locker room. But it's something that I think definitely changed some Bruins fans' opinions about Steve Kasper, was his time as a coach. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding Steve Kasper and the career he had. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.